Hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. Now today's episode is to celebrate LumberJillville reaching 3,000 subscribers. First off, thank you to every single one of you out there that's watched the video, that's commented, that's followed LumberJillville all the way from the start. It means the world to me. When I started this passion-filled project covering women's wrestling figures, my goal was to try to change the outlook of women's wrestling figures on the community, raise the respect level, raise the awareness, and just get people to love them like I do. And it's been a fun journey, and we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on moving forward, and all of y'all's support is what keeps this train going. So first, I just wanted to thank all of you. Now, today's episode, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to peel back the curtain a little bit. We're going to do a watch along to one of my first reviews. I want to say it was my first 10. It was definitely within the first couple months of LumberJillville, and it was the Elite Kairi Sane review. I had a lot of fun in that intro. There's a lot I wanted to talk about. So sit back, relax, watch this review, and I'll be talking throughout it. I guess a commentary, if you will. All right, so here we are. This is the first time we've ever done this, so I've tried to figure this all out on my own. So hang with me if there's some technical difficulties, but this should be a lot of fun. I might pause it a couple times, but for the most part, I'll let it play through, kind of talk over what's happening in the review, and get you guys a behind the scenes look type thing. Now, if you do like this idea, make sure you let me know in the comments below, and maybe let me know what review you want to do, want me to do a commentary over next. So this is a straight shoot. There's not going to be a whole lot of editing here, so wish me luck. All right, so let's pull this up here and let's rewind it a little bit. This is one of the first intros. So this postcard I made even before LumberJillville was a thing. I used all royalty-free women's wrestling images that I found online and kind of put them together in a format. Anyway, we're not going to cover it in that much detail. Let's let it play. There's a lot of differences. Let's turn that volume down. There's a lot of differences, not just in the reviews, but my setup, my background, and I don't know, it's kind of cool to see all the progress that's happened in LumberJillville, and I might even show y'all some pictures to kind of show you what I mean. But this wasn't the original intro, but this, how about this? Okay, so Toy Shop Toy Reviews. Let me tell y'all something here. You know, when I had this idea of LumberJillville, women's wrestling channel, with the side Toy Shop Toy Review that covers women's wrestling figures, well, that's what this channel is. We review women's wrestling figures here. And so I dropped the Toy Shop Toy Review thing. So does that mean I'm not going to branch out in the future and do more women's wrestling based things or outside of wrestling figures? No, I'll definitely do that. But anyway, that was one of the early titles of the channel here, of these reviews. Hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. Now look at my background here. Let's pause it one more time real quick. Look at the background here. I'm going to put up an image, if I can, right now of what that area looks like. Quite a difference, huh? Now today I'm going to be... All right, so in this review, I went to Party City. This is one of my most favorite reviews because I went all out. You know, reviewing the Kairi Sane Elite. She's a pirate. So I went to Party City, got a complete pirate outfit. And something I did in this review that some people might notice, some people might not, is I start off with an eye patch. Every time it cuts away, it comes back to me, I have something else added to me that's pirate related. Also, this is a different format than what I do now. Now I do my funny, you know, entertaining intros, and then I do the review. This has the review sprinkled throughout this story. So it's definitely a different format. That's why I wanted to talk about it today. But yeah, right now we're looking at Kairi's face. So let's just cut to the chase. See, now I have the shirt on. I have a little eye makeup on. And that shirt, by the way, I've used a lot. Let's dive into those. Now, with Kairi's face, I wish I would have spent more time looking at that face scan and really, you know, looking at it up close. But again, this is before I got into really detailed reviews. I didn't really know what I was doing. Not like I know what I'm doing now, but I try. But now we're covering the accessories, the extra hands there. You can see the nail polish and this elbow pad, which it floats around LumberJillville. I need to find it. These two things are actually in my Kairi's hand. Do I have Kairi around here? I did have Kairi around here, but I do not right now. Now this telescope scene, I had so much fun filming. See, now I have a hat added on. I spent about an hour and a half trying to find this the other night for this review alone. And you know where? Now let's see here. I don't get it.
Now I was
I
so
don't get
proud of
what I
this
do with
shot,
this
y'all.
thing. Look, like, how's it supposed to make her a pirate? Like,
It,
oh, look, I'm a pirate.
and so the focus here is I'm looking through this little telescope and it actually works. There's a holy sensor mark there. Now to make this view, there's my old Sasha shelf, everyone, before it went to a whole cabinet layout. Now I used a toilet paper tube, and like I said, I don't look up online how to do things. I like to figure them out myself, and sometimes the results are a little bit crude. So here you can tell it's a toilet paper roll. I wish I used something else. It's a little embarrassing, honestly, but I was so proud of that. Now I have a parrot on my shoulder. Comer Lex, an OG Day One channel member there. Okay, now let's pause this. All right, so take a look at that wall right there, and let's see if I can show you what that area looks like now, because that's all blank space. And this is what it looks like now.
Time out, time out. Okay, A, I was not spying on you. I will never do such a thing.
That ring there, I built. I was so proud of that ring. I still have it somewhere. It wasn't the best, but I was so proud of it at first to do my reviews in and all that.
This telescope here, it actually works. You gotta try this thing out. Here, catch this, girl.
Nice throw, Tim Couch.
A little Cleveland Browns Tim Couch reference there for anyone that knows about it. Now the funny thing is right there, when she reached down, she didn't have the telescope in her hand. And looking back, what I should have done is I should have had her bend down, pause the film, put it in her hand, and then resume, because it would have been the same. But no joke, what I did is I leaned her over, put it in her hand real quick, and then had her stand up. And it took me so many takes.
I think I just found something. It might lead us to the pirate's booty.
Ooh, booty?
Now I have a beard.
See, Alexa, I haven't covered her lower half here, but we don't refer to it as that here. That's just disrespectful.
No, you idiot. Booty is
And she spots treasure on top of my daughter's playhouse, which you'll see a lot of here.
Son of a biscuit, we need that.
It's not in my room anymore. My collection's expanded, so this house is now out in my dining area.
Finish this review. So now it's time to cover her two best accessories. Her entrance attire.
Yeah, I mean, this figure, this might be the best women's wrestling figure of all time, in my opinion. It's too bad that it was so early in the channel when I reviewed it. I would like to go back and review it sometime, and I think I will. You know, I could have done that for today, but I wanted to go back in time, kind of watch this with you, and see what I can improve on when I do a review again. Because, like, right here, that's not very up close. That's not too much of an up-close shot there. And, like with the face, I just covered it real quick. I didn't go into detail with the hair sculpt, the face sculpt, the scan, anything like that. So I definitely would like to revisit this figure in the future.
Now on to the coat. Now the most noticeable accessory she comes with is this giant white fur coat.
Now something else I noticed in these reviews, which it's kind of cringy to me, is watching it, I feel like the energy in my voice is like, looking at the coat, you know, I try to be more lively now because I do enjoy this. I have a good time reviewing these women's wrestling figures. I love doing it. Okay, now that part I was proud of. I started moving her arm up and down, the motion that she was kind of in. It looked like a little rap dance. So I was so proud of that little film transition with the music.
It's also important to note that this does come off, and it's necessary to come off for her to take this coat off.
And you should take her hand off when you do remove that jacket sleeve. It makes it easier. I'm not sure if that's how I did it. I don't know if I show that in this. But yeah, the jacket detail is tremendous. Not just the sculpting, but the painting, the detail work. It's beautiful, honestly.
Gold and black pattern, and they even included a lace closure on it that they painted.
Like,
now if you turn it around,
I think I
she also has this
picked this up right before I started the channel. You know, I had a little bit of a collection. As you can see in the background of my first video, my first review going back, I had a little bit of a collection going, and she was one of the first women's elites that I got. I remember I found it in Walmart, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. Looking back, I wish I would have got 2 or 3 or 4, because I love it that much. Like I said, this might be the best women's wrestling figure ever.
First thing I noticed when I remove her accessories,
so then I just transitioned to without her jacket. I wish I would have shown, that's another thing I wish I would have changed. I wish I would have shown me taking it off, because it's a little tricky, and I think that would have helped benefit some people if I kind of showed the best way to take that thing off. But once that jacket's off, you can put that elbow pad on her elbow,
as you can see, she has a molded top. It's not just
which was an accessory. But this attire, like, it's almost a shame, not really, but she has that amazing jacket, right? She has that tremendous jacket accessory. And underneath that jacket accessory, it gets almost even better. Her ring attire is amazing. Her body mold looks just like her. I mean, this figure is seriously perfection in my opinion.
With a belt that's kind of two-tone. It's black.
Now that waist piece of the belt that kind of hangs down, that was used on later on the Elite Mandy Rose.
Now, also something cool to note is on the left side of her rear.
See, I'm talking real like monotone here, I think. And by the way, I have a cold right now, so that's why I sound a little congested.
Moving on to her knee pads, which are great.
But I know hopefully y'all will bear with me.
This awesome white and black pattern.
The knee pads, once again, great detail.
The knee pad has a wheel on the front, and the left one has an anchor.
A wheel. That's like a pirate steering wheel there, I guess. I'm sure there's a name for that.
They both have compasses on the inside painted, which is very detailed.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is a little difficult for me to watch. You know what I mean? This makes me a little like, oh, it's kind of cringy because this was early on. But this is when I was just trying to figure out how I wanted to do the layouts of the video, how I wanted to try to incorporate, you know, entertainment into these reviews and make them fun to watch. And this one, like I said, it's a different format where the segments are kind of filtered into the review itself. And that might be something I revisit in the future. I would love to know what y'all think about that.
Kairi Sane Elite 73 is pretty easy to find.
Okay.
I'm just going to cut to the chase.
So here's the deal. So that's something else I did early in the channel because a lot of the figures I would review weren't pre-ordered figures. They were figures that were out on the shelves, they were out in stores, or they were online. And I like to cover availability. And it's amazing how outdated, as you'll see in a sec, how outdated the availability is on this figure. Oh man, I would look on Amazon, look on eBay, find like the sold price, kind of what they're going for. And yeah, let's take a listen.
If you get on Amazon Prime, you can get her brand new free shipping to you in 2 days for $15. So that by far is what I suggest. The other sites have her around $20, such as
$15, y'all. 15. You could have gotten this figure for $15 at the time of this video, at the time this was made here. That hurts me because now on eBay, I want to say it's upward towards 60 or 70 MOC, and that's how I'd want to get it because it does come with a lot of accessories. I need one or two more of these figures, so I'm definitely on the hunt for these without a doubt. Because like I said, this figure might be the best of all time, and I'd like to go back and revisit it and review it in detail. But this was $15 on Amazon Prime at the time of this recording. Like, oh, and on eBay it was only $20.
eBay,
insane, no pun intended.
But honestly, this figure's too good to pass up on. So I would go ahead on Amazon.
I got a little beard now.
So overall, I give Elite Series 73 Kairi Sane a score of a 9.5 out of 10.
Realistically, I would have given it a 10 out of 10. There's nothing wrong with this figure. There's not a single thing wrong with it. Yeah, this is a perfect figure. I mean, it might be the best I've ever reviewed, even though it was a pretty quick review.
Treasure.
I was proud of that little joke there too. So here, we go right into the action here. There's my daughter's house in the corner of my room. Now, what's funny is I hung that blue bed sheet back there to make it look like a sky, and oh, it's embarrassing. It failed. I mean, you can see my curtains, you can see my wall. Didn't really work that well. I didn't really. The execution was not perfect. Now, it's important to note at this time I have bad allergies. In my nose, it hit me hard. I don't know if it was dust from, you know, climbing up there or what, but I got hit hard. My eyes were watering. My nose was running. So you'll hear me go. But I had to retake so many scenes because of that.
Looks like this might be pretty easy by the looks of it.
Treasure map is up on the roof, and that's what we're trying to get.
No. This is not a purse. This is my exploration bag.
That's my exploration bag.
Figured you'd need it for our pirate.
Oh, I looked at the camera. Hold on. I'm not trying to rewind everything, but we got to look. That was bad. Oh, man. I'd never noticed that before. And I rewatch my reviews like a lot.
Looks like this might be pretty
I'm not a perfectionist by means. I just want to be proud of my product. You know what I mean? I really want to put it all.
This is not a purse.
And things like this wouldn't have made it. Watch this. Oh, man, that's right after. But I look right at the camera for no reason. I said, and this is what I even bought you a present. That's bad. Yeah, things like that would have drove me nuts if I did that review now.
what I'm talking about. Now you look official.
Let's find this treasure.
Whoa.
A lot of bleeps we had early on in the channel, I guess.
Let's do this.
Now that I did that voiceover groan, which is definitely noticeable. That's.
Oh, oops.
Look, you can see my wall once again. I don't even have the blue pulled over.
Yeah, okay.
Now I start sniffling. Here's my Rapunzel wig that I braided to throw down.
Seriously?
And I kept the take where it knocked her over because I just thought that was kind of funny.
Okay? Just grab on and leave that judgment down there.
My acting is not the best. I'm no YouTube thespian at this point.
Come here, Alexa, you made it.
I'm still not.
Hey, the map's over there. Let's haul noogies. Hey, I have an idea.
I cut real quick to that transition. This map I was proud of I made.
Aaron, it's literally a picture of a pinata. I think it's pretty simple to figure out.
So there's the map. The treasure is inside a pinata.
That's just great. Where the frick are we going to find a pinata?
Look up Scallywag.
Oh, we happen to have a pinata. Party City coming in clutch once again.
But I don't have anything to use. I have no objects.
I don't have anything to
Just pretend it's
use.
someone you hate.
Now let me explain this here. All right, so at this time, the main antagonist of the channel is going to be James Ellsworth. And it's because when I got into the women's division in wrestling, Carmella was SmackDown champion, or at least I remember her reign. And I was big into that. It was so awesome to watch Carmella. And I watched her a little bit in NXT, so to see her progress and get better in the ring every time I saw her was amazing. And for her being the champion, I love that title reign. I really did. I actually have that SummerSlam Elite. It's always at my desk. It's one of those figures that if I'm editing or something, I'm just always posing it around. It was the Jillies last year. It was like the most sentimental figure to me. Like I love this figure. I do. And this does represent when she was a SmackDown Women's Champ. But James Ellsworth on the first women's Money in the Bank match climbed the ladder and got the briefcase and tossed it to her. And I was so mad that that happened. So mad that he took a moment from the women. Obviously it was booking, but I blamed him. Right. So I was a big, I couldn't stand him. So he was like the early on antagonist of the channel. Still kind of is. So I'm picturing it's James Ellsworth's head. Now I literally launched that head off. I didn't know what was going to happen with it. And it knocked over some stuff. It was pretty funny. And this is the key, the magic key to the cabinet. That's how I brought Comer Alexa to life. It's like that movie. I don't know if I can say it, but it's like that movie where they put a little figure in the cupboard and they turn the key and the magic turns it alive. That's what I do to turn the figures in LumberJillville alive. So all of the Robo Taminas, Diva Marie, Comer Alexa, that's what I used. So
Thanks for stopping by LumberJillville.
Comer Alexa, breaking the fourth wall. Now I go to this. Women's Wrestling Lives Here. Hit like and subscribe. Subscribe to become a resident. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so there you have it. Like I said, I had a lot of fun going through and watching that with y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it too. If this is a kind of video you'd like as like a bonus video, because obviously I'm always going to do women's wrestling figure reviews, but it is fun to kind of go back and watch through those videos that not a lot of people watched early in my channel. And I remember this one in specifics. I was so proud of this one, y'all. I was so proud of this. And I remember I uploaded it and it bombed big time. Now this was, I want to say the first month of my channel. So I was at less than 100 subscribers, I want to say. And yeah, I was just really proud of this and had so much fun. And the fun hasn't stopped. You know, since then, I try to have so much fun in my intros and my reviews. And this one is one of those ones that it just makes me happy to watch it, because I remember I was so proud of myself, all the little things that I like, the toilet paper roll to make it look like a telescope, or, you know, adding on a piece of pirate costume every time it cut away and went back to me. Like I was so happy and proud of that. And, you know, it's one of those videos that did get me started and made me realize how much fun I am going to have with this channel. And that's what I've had. You know, we're less than 3 years since we created this channel, and we are at 3,000 subscribers. Now, the reason I say we is because it wouldn't be possible without every one of y'all. Like I said, my daughter inspired me to start this channel. I saw how she looked at Charlotte Flair. She looked at these women's wrestlers, and there's no reason in the world why me, a single straight father, can't look at them the same way and respect them and admire them and love them. And there's always going to be people out there. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people talking bad. But I brush those off, and I don't care, because at LumberJillville, this is where women's wrestling lives. And let's continue to build the respect level and raise awareness of these women's wrestling figures in the community. Let's keep this channel going. Let's keep the reviews going. And hopefully y'all keep the support going for me and the channel. Now, that being said, I love y'all. And thank you so much for this wild ride to get to 3,000. And next up, 10,000. Let's go. All right. Now, thanks for stopping by LumberJillville. Women's Wrestling lives here. Make sure to use discount code LJV at checkout over at ringsidecollectibles.com to save 10% on your next order of women's wrestling figures. Also, Pro Wrestling T/LJV has some LJV merch up there. And yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully that Aaliyah basic comes pretty soon. But once again, thank you so much for the support, and thanks for watching. Have a great night, y'all.